suckers and you be on a level. Listen, I'm never giving up. Stand your ground, don't be too comfortable or too settled. Listen, I'm never giving up. When you hit rock bottom, it's only one way to go. Listen, I'm never giving up. Everybody got problems, how you handle them, no. Yeah. Listen.
Hey, I'm John.
And I'm Jonathan.
Welcome to The Formula.
Hey guys, we got a great episode for today. We're going to be talking about the conversation that Caitlyn Jenner had with TMZ, and then we also have some information from the Montana governor about transgender in sports. That is a very big topic right now, and I think it should be had. And I can't wait for us to talk about this today.
Yeah, so the governor of Montana signed a bill that bans transgendered girls from playing in girls' sports. Mm-hmm. So that's a boy who transitioned to a girl who now wants to play girls' sports.
Right.
And the governor banned that. The governor of Montana. Mm-hmm. And Montana is not the only state. There's several other states who presented similar bills, and some of them passed, some of them didn't. Montana, there might be consequences. They might not get federal funding if they move forward with it, or if it's deemed unconstitutional. Mm-hmm. So there's that, and a lot of activists they feel like trans people are being targeted, and not just in sports, but in healthcare, and with the bathrooms and all that other stuff. So they just feel like this is added on. This is just part of the whole thing where they feel like trans people are being discriminated. So
this is America.
This is America. Now,
yeah.
I don't know. Should I give up my opinion?
Absolutely, because this is our opinions on everything. I know John really well, so the two of us, I know we're not homophobic.
We're not.
We have gay, transgender friends. Well, I don't have any transgender friends, but I do have gay friends. So, and I love them just like I love anybody else. And just to talk about my background, with gay, and the gay transgender genre, I guess I can say. I come from a very small town. If you was gay in that small town, you heard it.
Everybody knew.
Everybody knew. Everybody distanced themselves from them. It's the Bible Belt. It's tobacco country, so they didn't agree with that. They didn't want to accept it. They talked bad about you. All those things. So I'm from that place. But what I've learned in life is exposure is expansion. So the more you get exposed to different things, the more your mind expands. And what I learned when I got out into the world was these people are just like you and I. They're just different. Like a lot of people in my knowledge is the same. You feel what I'm saying? But when you get out in the world, you see there's different things. So you have to evolve and see that everybody's different. Like everybody don't like the same sports team. So everybody don't like a different gender. Some people like the same gender, which is cool. And when I became friends with some gay people, it was enlightening. It was refreshing. I got comfortable.
It was educational.
It was very educational, and I got comfortable, and I'm happy to call them friends. You know what I mean? I worked with a young man that was gay, and he was super cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like actually, I worked with a few people that was gay, and it was super cool. Like there's not any difference.
It's no different than.
There's no difference.
Yeah.
But when it come down to sports, and transgender, I do have a strong opinion about that. And I don't know if that, I don't feel like it's a strong opinion. I think it's the right thing when it comes down to, like, all of this is about equality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, I mean, they're dealing with some of the same stuff that black people dealt with and still deal with. You know, it's no different, you know, but we can't, it's no different, you know, that they're dealing with the same, like the bathrooms, like black people dealt with the bathrooms. we
dealt with that.
We couldn't use the same bathrooms white people before.
We couldn't drink from the same water fountain. We couldn't go to the same schools. There's a lot.
Yeah, a lot. So I'm not equating this to slavery or being black at all, because I feel that sentiment as well. It's not equal, but they are dealing with some of the same things that black people dealt with.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of torn.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, I feel like if they want to play girl sports, let them play girl sports. But on the other hand, is there an unfair advantage?
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Think about it, John. If you was in high school, right? You still 6'3". 6'3". You
On a
still
good day.
6'3" in high school.
On a good day, yeah, I'm 6'3".
You still 6'3" in high school.
Right.
You still could dunk in high school.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So if you were playing basketball,
if I was playing with the girls,
you would dominate.
I would dominate.
It wouldn't be fair.
It wouldn't.
Like nobody, like so for 4 years, nobody in your conference, no other team in your conference. That means there's 15 people on the team, and just say 10 people on the team, and there's 6, 7, 8 teams in your conference. That's 80 chicks. That's going to be unfairly, like, put out of the sport. Basically, they're not going to be able to. They're not going to sniff a conference championship.
And I'd be taking a roster spot that could have went to another girl.
Yes. I mean, there's a reason why there's boys and girls sports. Like
there's a reason why they separated boys and girls.
Exactly. You would have dominated in high school.
I would have.
Dominated in high school.
Just like LeBron would dominate WNBA.
Yes.
Like he has no business playing in the WNBA.
Yes. Right.
At the same time, we've had girls play football.
Right.
I've seen examples of girls like being a kicker in football.
A kicker.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. A kicker.
But it's still
not gonna
football.
Get touched.
But they could be.
No,
but yeah.
The kicker is protected by.
The kicker is protected, but
yes.
And the only examples I've seen was kicking field goals.
Right.
I haven't seen them like do a kickoff or punting or anything like that.
Right.
So
even on kickoffs, they're protected.
Even on kickoffs, the kicker is usually not involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless they're engaging in the play.
My thing is though, if you allow girls to play boys football, then transgendered athletes, they have an argument. You know what I mean?
Well,
if you allow girls to play football, then they're going to say why you can't allow us to play girls sports.
It's because of
it
is because of the fairness aspect. Like there is no unfairness of a girl playing football. They're already at a disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when you put a boy
and there really isn't no girls football league,
right,
so to speak, at the middle school, junior high school level,
right. Yeah, if
a girl wants to play football, she has to play with the boys because there's no girls league, right?
And there's no and a boy in a girl sport is a disadvantage, a big disadvantage
for the girls.
Right? You know what I mean? Like I seen a transgender girl on a track. You feel what I'm saying? And she's winning state championships. That's not right. There's a reason why in the record books, or if you go to because we don't want to talk big stage, you know what I mean? We don't want to talk that big. We want to talk to the level of everybody that we're talking to, where we are, right?
Mm-hmm. Junior high school level.
So everybody that we talk to, most people play high school or junior high ball, right? So even at those levels, there's a big gap in the times at every track meet. Big gap
between the boys and the
boys
girls.
and the girls.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
That's what it is.
Don't put a dude in a track meet with a girl. Like, it's not guaranteed that they're going to win, but if they're any kind of athlete, they're going to win.
And I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Absolutely.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if the transgendered girl, excuse me, is like, yeah, but I take all of these medications and hormone thingamajiggies to make me more, I take more estrogen or whatever it is that they do to be more feminine physically.
Right.
That's an argument that they could make to say, oh, it's not really that much of a advantage if I'm changing my body physically.
Yeah, I don't know the science behind that, but I'm going to venture to say that it's going to take a whole lot more time to actually make your muscles smaller. You feel what I'm saying? There's
muscles, there's bones.
Yes.
Bone density.
Bone density, muscle mass, all that. It's got to take longer than a few months or a few hours to make that distinction, to make that change, to say, hey, I'm a girl now.
Right. Physically speaking.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So they still, I mean, the mind, you still got no matter what, physically, you can't change your mind. You know, you can change when I say your mind, I'm sorry, your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So your brain's still giving off these, I'm going too deep, but
right.
you're still a male brain sending signals to a male body.
Yeah.
Fast,
I mean,
they talk about fast twitch muscles.
Mm-hmm,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Males.
There might be physiological, neurological differences between men and women. I mean, again, we don't really know the science to it.
Yeah, I don't know the science.
We haven't gotten that deep yet, and there aren't really a whole lot of studies,
right,
to suggest that, you know, that transgender girls are the same physically as other women, as other girls.
Right.
I was thinking, just don't separate boys and girls. Just let them play together. But if you're a high school basketball coach, you're gonna pick all boys team anyway.
Exactly.
even if you allow the girls to play, if you allow the girls and the boys to play together, you're gonna pick the boys over the girls.
Exactly.
That's gonna happen. That's just gonna happen. So the other thing I was thinking was, how about we have transgendered athletes have their own league and do their own thing, where they're not with the boys and not with the girls, but you have boys, you have girls, you have transgendered.
Mm-hmm.
And that's transgendered boys and girls together, playing together.
Mm-hmm.
The issue with that is it's probably not enough transgendered athletes to really create a nationwide,
right,
league.
Or I mean, speaking on a smaller level, you're talking about middle school and high school,
right? It's not even enough. I mean, how many transgendered athletes are there?
Yes, it's not enough.
It's not going to be enough for them to create their own separate division.
I mean, it's really going to wipe out the female sports landscape. Like, it's just crazy that the females, Title IX, right? It's crazy that females fought to get to the point where they have athletics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of Title IX, you have to have if you're gonna have a certain amount of boys sports, you gotta have. There's a ratio, like you gotta have. If you got this many boys sports, you better have this many girls sports, right? I don't know the numbers behind that, but they fought so hard to get to that point. Now, just out of straight not unfairness, you know what I mean? Because the male landscape was just unfair and it's still unfair. You know, we talk about facilities in female sports in college versus the facilities of male sports in college. There's still a big disparity. But when you talk about they fought this hard to even get a chance to play on their own stage, now it's getting taken away from them by the very gender, honestly, by the very gender that they was fighting against. Now this gender, be that it transgender, is invaded, going back into their sport and taking it again. It's getting taken away from them, man. And I know it's not gonna be in every. I know it's not gonna be in every area. You know what I mean? But eventually it might.
Yeah, because the transgender population is gonna grow.
It's gonna grow.
Yeah.
Regardless, I mean, it is what it is. I just don't. When we talking about fairness, and that's their that's a lot of their platform. They want fairness, right? And I agree that they should get fairness, but their fairness shouldn't be at the expense of another demographic's fairness. We can't say it's fair for them to play with females. Just forget about the female's fairness because it's unfair for the female.
And I want people to understand most of these bills that are being presented, they are being presented in mostly Republican-led states. Take that for what it is. But they're not banning transgendered girls from playing with the boys.
But they won't, though. They don't.
Right, because
why would they?
If you're a boy who transitioned to a girl, they're saying you could play with the boys, you just can't play with the girls.
Right.
So if you really love this sport and you really is just about the love for the sport and you want to play the sport, then go ahead and play with the boys. You got to play with the big boys. You just can't play with the girls because there's an unfair physical disadvantage between transgendered girls and non-transgendered girls. So it's not like they can't play at all.
Right.
They just have to play with the boys.
Exactly. there's rules for a reason, man.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't feel like that a boy should be playing sports with a girl. Like, it is what it is. Like,
yeah,
when they're young, yeah, let them play, man.
Right.
They're not really that athletic at 5 and 6 years old. You know, that's fine. They can play soccer together, and they can play flag football and things like that together. But when it start getting physical, and when it start getting to a point where, you know, there's really kids out here working to actually go to the next level, that's just not right.
And
not fair, man.
Between 12 and 16, 17, you're going through physical changes. You're going through puberty. Some might still be going through puberty. You're going through growth spurts, things of that nature. So, I mean, I want everybody to play. It's just they would never let me play with the girls. That's just
right.
That's just
Right.
You know, and as a competitor, I wouldn't want to play with the girls.
Right.
Just the competitor in me. If I really think I'm all that and really that good, I'm gonna want to play with the best, and usually that's the boys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So as an athlete in general, I would want to play with the boys anyway.
Right. Yeah. Then just the. I just don't think it's right.
It's tough because again they are being. I feel like they are being targeted.
In what sense do you feel that they've been targeted?
Just in general.
Just in general, not just sports.
Not just sports.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, yes.
So then
would say that.
to take the sports aspect to it, and then pile that on top of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I feel a way about that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
well, the thing about the sports aspect is that we just seen
sports is different from bathrooms.
Right.
Sports is different from healthcare. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's different from politics. It's different. So
yeah, politics love to bring sports into this fold because they know that that's the catalyst for the world.
Apparently, Caitlyn Jenner is against having transgendered girls play with girls.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, guys, correct me if I'm wrong about that.
Yes.
But I mean, even Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, even Caitlyn is against it. TMZ caught her going to a car, and there's the videos out there on YouTube, so you can take a look at it. And they asked her how she feel about transgender girls playing in girl sports, and she told her her opinion on it, and from a transgender girl, she said it's not fair. Right.
Yeah, well, Caitlyn Jenner, she's she's running for office now. So, I mean, you take what she said you take it for what it is, but just keep in mind she's running for office. Right. So she might say things that she really might not mean, or might be politically advantaged, politically advantageous for her.
Right.
Or whatever. You know how politicians do. Politicians, they politic. So
I don't care how much politicking she does. There's nothing she could do or say to help her on the Republican side. Nothing. Because she's transgendered. So she's.
So you don't think she's being
lobbying?
You don't think she's being like the typical politician that's gonna say
there's no lobbying, and she knows that. There's no lobbying she could do as a transgender girl.
So
no lobbying.
So you don't think she's saying this just for a political career?
Because there's nothing she could say to. Just like when you talk to a Trump supporter, there's nothing you can say to knock that guy off the Trump horse. Absolutely nothing you can say.
It's pretty hard to do that.
There's absolutely nothing you could do.
It's pretty hard to convince.
There's no way to change. Like, it's especially in her state. She's a transgender girl. They are so far against they far against being gay. They are far against transgender. So there's no lobbying she could do to get the Republicans to vote for her. Nothing. I don't think so. She's being real. Like, it is.
She's giving her honest opinion.
She's an Olympic athlete as a boy.
As a man,
In the male sport, she was an Olympic athlete.
Right.
So she's saying if she would have ran in the Olympics with the girls, the record would be so far gone.
Right.
That you're not playing. They're not fighting for the record. They're just playing. You feel what I'm saying? Like just think about it, man. If you're if anybody you know, a female you know that went into, fought in MMA, and they just, female, the male that transitioned over to female can fight females in MMA, what's gonna happen?
Some of these MMA girls is tough though.
But they ain't beating a dude at the highest level. Like,
nah, they're not
beating an MMA guy.
They not beating the best MMA fight, the best male MMA fighter. They're probably not winning that match.
Not even. They won't even beat the.
There's some girls that could beat MMA dudes.
Not guys that's in UFC. I don't think there's a girl not even I forgot her name, but not even Cyborg and them chicks. Mm-hmm. I don't think they could beat a dude. Like a dude that's actually earned their way into MMA.
They could kick my ass easy, but I'm not in MMA.
Yeah, exactly. we're not training for that. You know what I mean? I still think I got a good shot, but
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, transgendered girls could always play with the boys. That's always an option for them. Mm-hmm. And I feel like as of right now, that's probably the best we could do.
Yeah, because they're not saying that they can't play at all. They're just
right. They're just
keep
saying
it fair, man.
Yeah, they're just saying you can't play with the girls. You're gonna have to play with the boys if you want to play.
Just keep it fair.
So, yeah, I mean that's my take on it.
Yeah, that's my take as well.
Nothing against transgender.
Not at all.
Like I said, I want everybody to play. And I want everybody to have a good time. And but when you have such an advantage competitively, it kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say takes away from the sport, but
yeah, it does. I mean,
for lack of a better terms, it kind of takes away from the
high
sport.
school female athletes and teams that has filed lawsuits because they because a male a transgender female like won the states, or, took a spot, and then it's just not right, man. In high school, most of these kids aren't going to go play college anyway, and you just ruined, some girls' high school experience because of a female. Because, what? I don't think that's worth it.
Yeah, it's tough. We're in like new territory because we're not accustomed to dealing with something like this. Because we never really had transgendered. I mean, when I was in high school, we never heard of any transgendered athletes playing sports at all. So this is new territory, and we kind of have to figure it out. I am sensitive to the plight of the transgender community, though. But at the same time, I don't really think we have a perfect answer, a perfect solution. As of right now, they're just going to have to play with the boys, and that's what it is.
Yeah, I think that all the states should have this bill.
So you want all the states?
Yes, I need all the states to have this bill.
Well, I mean, you have a daughter.
Yep.
I have a daughter.
I have a daughter.
I don't know if my daughter's gonna end up playing sports. I don't know.
I don't think mine is.
You don't think yours neither?
She's a girly girl. Her brother.
She's like that now, but she might turn over a new leaf.
No, she's not.
You don't think so?
No.
She's young though. Like, give her some time.
No.
Give her a hot minute.
She's not.
Let her hang out with me. I'll get her into sports.
She hang out with her brother every day, and all he want to do is play sports.
And she wants no part of it.
Nope. No parts. I try to give them, because this year would have been a great time for them to actually play together, because it's that in between, like, so the league is pre-K to first grade. My son's in first grade.
And she's in pre-K.
She's in pre-K. So I like, come on, you want to play? You want to play? She's like, no. I'm like, because earlier she said, yeah. I'm
What sport you was trying to?
Flag football.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that.
And I think she would have been great.
Well, of course you do.
she's really short, so it'd been tough for them to get her flag.
Yeah.
You know, but she's really short, but she's pretty fast. She's pretty fast.
But she's like, nah, no, thank you. I'm good.
When it was time to play, she was like, no, we don't want to play. But that would have been great just to have both of them on the same team. That would have been good.
If my daughter let's say my daughter was a wrestler and she went up against a transgender girl, I'd probably feel a way about that.
And I think, like, the thing with wrestling, I think they have to, there's no female wrestling. It's all unison. It's they all play together. Because I had a friend that actually wrestled in high school. She was a girl. And
she had to wrestle boys.
She had to wrestle boys. I think when they had females to wrestle in her weight limit, she wrestled, but no. There's not enough girls.
There's not enough girls to have a girls' league in wrestling.
Right.
I guess my daughter won't be wrestling then.
She's wrestling dudes. She's wrestling dudes.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I feel, you know, because we understand discrimination, like we understand it. So I do feel a way about that. I feel a way about them being targeted. I do feel like they're being targeted. And again, it's mostly Republican-led states that are pushing this. So it does seem like there is an agenda.
Where else could that lead to, though?
At the same time, there's just too much physical differences for transgendered girls to be playing with girls. And they still have the option of playing with boys.
Right.
So as long as they have the opportunity to play sports, I feel like that's okay for now. Maybe 10 years from now it might change. Maybe 20 years from now it might the landscape might look different. But as of right now, I think that's the best option. That's the best we could do.
Yeah, I think so. I just don't see him playing with girls, man.
Yeah.
Just unfair. Just unfair.
So you guys let us know. Let us know what you think. If you've had any experiences with transgendered athletes as far as your kids are concerned, most of our audience is over 35. So if you have any kids that dealt with going up against transgendered athletes, let us know your experience. Follow us on Anchor. We are powered by Anchor. We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, CastBox, Pocket Cast. Look out for us at The Formula Production on Instagram, at The Formula Pro, on Twitter, at The Formula Production, on YouTube. And like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Till next time, faith, dream, hustle, repeat.
And that's the formula.